Hey everybody. So, one thing I'm doing, I'm not going to bother juggling four separate chats. Got some interaction on Kick and Africa. Just don't know that it's important. YouTube and Twitch are all integrated with OBS and Restream, so the chat that you guys see is this collective chat, which is both Twitch and YouTube. Gives me slightly less options. I'm only doing a 1280 by 720, and I took it to low latency. Now that I got a solid connection, I had taken it to regular latency in order to social alerts. So how do I? I want to configure that text block because there is something in Restream that I did to start with Studio, set up, chat, settings. No, I don't want this. Yeah, let's go to compact mode. Colorize author names. Show avatar. Scale 100%. Mixer, is that one I should check out? Settings. Yeah, I don't need this. Huge, ridiculous. Yeah, more. The theme is comic. Is that what I want? PUBG, LOL compact. No, I don't want LOL compact. R6 compact. No, that's ridiculous. Overrocks, Minecraft. Wow, World of Warcraft. WOT, World of Tanks. Must be that. What the heck? There we go. That's fine. Copy the embed chat. Relay automatically forwards all incoming chat messages. Oh, I like that. Reply commands. Okay. I think that go back to embed in stream. Copy. I just don't see any size set in here. Sources, chat. Let's see. 07EC. Well, it stays the same. Height is just too much here. Let's take this down to 700. Custom frame rate. Cool. Gets it out of the way anyways. I think that's it. Okay. Well, whatever. Anyways, back to the where I was just at in Restream. And I think there is messages from multiple platforms here. Awesome. I think it'll work now. Let's see what happens. Anyways, there was that setting that I just had found. Right now I'm in analytics, but what I want is must be settings. No, account. Uh, uh, uh. Branding, team, video, storage, home. That's what it was. Home. Setup for OBS, chat overlay. Okay, yeah, here's the overlay. And I'm going to make it bigger just because that way it's easier to read. But reply commands, create command, Cosmic Tarot. And timers for them. Awesome. Cosmic Tarot, a reading with the cosmos. Card-driven conversation with the cosmos regarding life choices. Typically, I request awesome. Well, that's cool. Now I know how to make chat settings. Every hour, Cosmic Tarot comes up. Okay. Only the analytics. Point is, now if I go to Twitch as well as YouTube. You know, more technology all the time. Here we go, wrapping it up. Additional new things I want to tell you guys about because I'm pretty jazzed. I did sign up for a much more expensive cell service now, but I got my hardware today, and I'm going to continue setting it up. I got a free iPad and a iPhone 14 Pro. There's some integration that I can do with those. I think I can get an app on the iPad to turn it into sort of like a Stream Deck controller. I've got a little stand coming that I can put it in, that I can set it down next to me and keep it down with the cards and everything. And I think the iPhone can do something as well. As well as they're both infinite, unlimited data hotspots. Although once I'm down to 2G, I don't think I'm gonna be able to stream anything worthwhile. I only get 25 gigs before I'm into the 2G, and I may end up upgrading that if I'm doing much streaming to get to the unlimited high end. But new technology to make use of. I got my laptop. I'm on the road again. I think Wednesday is when I'm gonna head out. So format will change then. I'll bring my tarot deck with me. That's very portable. And I will have my laptop, which at this point I am now getting set up and arranged so that I can travel. I don't know what's coming next, guys, at all, but anything. And, you know, I hope that I find something to do to keep busy, I guess, before I just go get a job and go back to the working stooge lifestyle. I've got to get my health care set up and everything tomorrow, so I'll get that done before the stream. As I said before, I'm not necessarily, at this point, I am just not worried about streaming every day. I'm not really worried about streaming. When it fits in, I do it. And if I don't have the time for it, then I'm not going to get into it. There's nothing holding me to this setting. And anybody who honestly wants to talk to me can talk to me through the Discord, can address me directly over Twitch. Or YouTube, I don't check the messages. Let's see. I mean, I could be getting messages from YouTube right now. I don't even know what my hits are on because I think that they're all saved. Let's see. My channel. No views. And they're hours long. Huge, unedited, right? Live streams. 7 hours long. From 2 weeks ago. 5 hours long from 2 weeks ago. A lot of talking. Anyways, if messages came to me, I don't know. There we go. Bushido Blues replied to me. That's good. I'm going to start reaching out to content creators too. There's several that I want to, you know, build a rapport with if they have the time for it and they're into it. Especially pulling them into this sort of conversation. Big content creators are going to have better things to do. Same time, I am bringing a certain level of expertise and technical knowledge, and they may be the most interested in discussing, you know, what's going to change here. Content creators are absolutely the people who should be the most concerned, and they should be having these conversations with me. Nobody's having the conversations. Everybody's got their head in the sand trying to pretend like things aren't changing, but they're definitely changing. They're definitely changing. They are about to be like big content creators. You can expect thousands of duplicates. It's already, you know, the shticks in content creation are so bad as it is. Somebody does something like survival construction, and within 8 months of them reaching, you know, 200,000 subscribers, within 8 months, there's all sorts of frauds, and like the recon. I watch this stuff, the reconstruction stuff. People will manufacture, you know, an object which looks as though it's extremely weathered, but is not actually weathered at all. They cover it with paint, etc. And geez, that's why this pen is so short. These things die fast. So, you know, all content, whatever it is that you're doing, it's very likely that you're going to face the same sort of pressure. And perhaps I'm not as in the boat as you are. If this is your intent to make a living on it, there's something that Osho said that a lot of people don't like Osho. I like Osho a lot. He says he's the rich man's Buddha or something, and he's got a point about it all. And that's the thing that makes it so distasteful whenever I am acting like a shithead. I never should act like a shithead because I am pretty blessed. I am pretty blessed. Then why am I being a shithead? He says that those who are struggling materially don't have the time or the resources to fully explore their reality and continue their personal awakening. And what is a personal awakening? The seekers, the truth seekers, the thinkers, the believers. This is the real history of believers. Not going to a church per se. Like for me, it was a big imposing church in my community, which absorbed money from people and gave them nothing. Gave them nothing but false hope and abuse, especially to those who were not as well networked into the church. The church that I saw were all disgusting, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'll bring it up to 1920 by 1280. I might as well here on the next stream, just to make sure that we're still doing everything great. I'm running at 0.1% on my CPU, pretty stable. And if I can start games without dropping, that's the hope. And I think that drops were just because I was on the wrong server, as I found before. But yeah, so the evil side of wealth, and it's something that I haven't talked about a lot because I try to keep a universal perspective, and I don't want to rub in a difference. I believe that socioeconomic disparity is a gross sin. I blame the leadership of society. I don't want to just damage my own existence and my own ability to find center, because if I'm stressed out, it's harder to find center. I don't want to just give that up to make a point. I want to take it and turn it into something productive. I want to gel enough with it so that I can be a part of it, but then I can also be a bridge to bringing others into it. And I can't fix the whole world, you guys. I can maybe help a couple people. If everybody plays along, we're all doing all the work. The work is distributed. Many hands make light work. That's the way to actually make this thing happen. It's going to be distributed. No getting around that. We'll never be getting around that. So, what is it that I'm supposed to do per se to try to help people? And our culture wants me to absolutely just like get down to their level and just give and give and give and give and give. And they're just hapless. They accept. They think that it's normal, but they don't understand that they start to expect it. Everything changes, and it's just not the place to be in a community is the one who's the material supply. It's very abusive. I mean, you can do that, but don't pretend equality. That's not equality. That's dependency, which should have at least some respect. If you're physically dependent on another entity for your existence, you should respect that. But we shouldn't be aiming for that. We shouldn't be letting that happen in society. But a lot of people don't think they can do better. And because they don't think they can do better and they don't try to do better, we don't get there. And a lot do try. Everybody's telling everybody narratives. Most of them are just self-service bullshit. Utter bullshit about how things got to be. It doesn't have to be that way. Nothing has to be any way. And we can change it. We can change everything. There's nothing keeping us from rearranging what we're dealing with. So, what am I supposed to do? And is it distasteful for me to spend my time making a rich kid feel better instead of a poor kid? answer the question in the sense of, really, as people do this, I mean, I feel just as other people do resentment to the imbalanced situation, and I have kept friends who get and have received a very different life than I did. I have had friends who went to private schools, very expensive select private schools, who had tremendous resources and still have tremendous, who walk around in designer clothes every day because their family keeps them dressed that way. Not earning any money into their 30s. Absolute incredible stories, but it doesn't matter, okay? That human being in front of me is a human being and deserves to be treated as all human beings deserve to be treated. Its dignity should be protected by me directly. I should be actively trying to protect its dignity. Why? Because it's a fellow citizen. Because I'm so faithful, I believe in the eventual transcendence of the entire human species, and I see them as a kid. I see them as regardless of their age, their developmental level is evident, and their developmental level is lacking. But what do I do constructively? It's not as simple as resent rich people and make them feel bad every time I get a chance. I joke about yelling at rich people, and I do treat those with better resources a lot rougher than I treat the kids or performers or anybody else, okay? When you should be more, I'm the first one to be pointing and saying you should be more. I try to do it in a gentle way that doesn't alienate and destroy the relationship, because the goal is eventually working together. But as I don't have a social position developing, the average socially actualized individual has a hard time having any desire to follow what I do. That's why I advocate for a system that understands that its civic champions need to be sponsored, and it invests in its own future. It actually takes away the barriers instead of introduces them or negotiates them. And it does not reward the slovenly monsters like the people who have currently taken over the system. They're just slovenly monsters, guys. They're not impressive in any way. Look at what they've done, and they literally, these people are completely empowered, but they act as though they're helpless. Not just with their politics. I mean, with everything, they act as though they're helpless, but they're the most empowered individuals in history. Caesar could not produce media like these people can, could not announce things to the world like I can. Just from this format is just incredible, and it's underutilized. We don't have people stepping up, and that we don't have much people stepping up. We don't have the socially actualized trying to reach higher levels, and if they're not trying to reach higher levels, then society just doesn't create the highest forms of character that it should be constantly generating in a well managed modern society. We should be making many, many more than we used to, aware and awake people, but everybody's trying to hide from the hard truth. That's a shame. And as leadership, I have a choice. Okay? I can be a fucking worthless sellout. I can just take care of myself and do loser shit like go on cruises or fucking travel so I can see something, take some fucking pictures like an absolute piece of shit. You need to take another fucking picture, the same fucking tourist trap that we can get all the fucking pictures you'd ever fucking imagine of, but you got to take your own fucking pictures. Good thing you went there to take pictures. Listen, if you're stupid enough to fucking travel, put the motherfucking camera down. Jesus fucking Christ. Do you travel places to fucking shoot pictures? That's a fucking job, asshole. Why are you paying to do a job? For the benefit of the tourist shit you're fucking going and spending time with, instead of making something people want to visit in your city. You're giving your life away. You're being vampirically bled away, and you're proud of it. You're fucking proud of it, which is pathetic. We're heading to a revaluation, which is what Nietzsche called it, a revaluation of norms. And it's because of the systemic collapses that we are in the middle of. We need people that are going to be aware and awake, trying to push things towards a better ending. Applying hope, not giving up just because they're fucking failures, just because they're goddamn tired, because they're such losers every fucking day. Their emotions are such a burden. They can't figure out how to fucking put it away. I just fucking drink a cup of coffee, you guys. I just fucking get at it. It's different. If you wallow in your shit, do you know what you're doing to your body? Do you know what the elixir of youth is? Is not sitting there stressing over nonsense, over inane daydreams, like the sort of asshole who can't even be bothered to learn calc has. Your feelings are just a self-propelling inertia in your system, and your system is just a consumer. That's not okay. That's not noble. Everything on earth translates. And when you want to be just a consumer, when you want to be an actual motherfucking lion, you might learn how many lions there are compared to everything else. You can't have 40% of the population of the savannah be a fucking lion. Or you have lions eating lions, eating lions. All that gets eaten is fucking lions. Until, as it should be, they make up 0.2%. If it takes 10 years to grow a fucking meal, how many fucking lions can an ecosystem support? How much of that expression of raw consumption? And is there a natural balance in the physical limits of the expression of the lion's power? Yes. When you take a person who's using a gun and let this piece of shit wannabe roid up and wanna be a fucking lion. Lions are part of the ecosystem, you fucking loser. You're not a lion. You're a madman. A violent, ignorant dipshit. Maybe you can hurt somebody. Nothing to be proud of. What can you build? What have you built? Who have you helped? And don't say that you helped somebody by killing a quote-unquote bad guy. You helped someone by turning a bad guy into a good guy. And how do you do that? Artful dodging. Being present. You got to be there to actually have some sort of response. And somebody's got to deliver some fucking feedback. And kids fucking resent this shit. Weakling kids. Weakling performers resent it. Self-identify yourself if you are a weakling. Understand we are never intended to mix. Never. There is a false sympathy among those who wallow in misery. It's a false sympathy. It's a political etiquette where they all say they care, but none of them can afford to care. So, forgive me for being a businessman, for having basic acumen, for strategic awareness, for not wanting to just fail over and over again, like is the overwhelming status quo. If I make change simply by being such a badass, I'm proud of that. And yeah, money and resources might be what they think they need. If they had character, they would have more of that already. It's a different sort of approach, and it leads to a different sort of response to all things. All things. You constantly reinforce who you are. And in a medium like this, you don't need an audience. You don't need anybody to pay attention. All you need to do is know who you are. Give your honest position to the system now. We are all being judged. It doesn't announce itself and say, "It is judgment day, I am here to judge you." Companies turn the machines on. The machines do what the machines do. They will continue forever to do what they're going to do. So, what do I do next? I'm going to go to a place that's got severe gentrification. That's where my next stop is. Carrying this transmission with me is a very important aspect of what I'm doing. Because it is double-ended. And as I have said, it is two things primarily. And I hope that there's many places in the world where this energy lands. And people start just being responsible, doing what they should have been doing all along. There's no excuse for not being on this tilt for a long time already, for anybody. And as I said, I'm rougher on the top. And around there, I tell you what, everybody knows what the deal is. Everybody knows what it is. I don't have to join any side. People have been trying to convince me to jump on their boat. I just haven't yet. Why does it work for me and not for you? Why does somebody want me on the boat and maybe not necessarily anybody try to engage you on their boat? Common sense, guys. Recruitment is a real priority for every network. Over time, if you fail to recruit, you eventually run yourself out of network. Everybody, without exception, must recruit. How do let me see this here. I think I can get more height. Yeah, there we go. So, and that's the thing, you know, it takes a couple of days of feeling disappointed to let go of anything, really, I think. People don't understand how slowly the human body processes, changes, and emotions and plans, etc. When our plan is really integrated with our system, when we've really ruminated on it and it's part of our subconscious, letting go of it can be very hard. And over a long time with a lot of trauma, it sort of piles on itself. That's a natural human response, okay? That's an absolutely natural human response. I don't think it's an illness to have strong feelings about our past scenarios, especially when we as a human being approach them in such a principled way. It's different when you're just an emotional sloppy fuck up, right? If you are just a worthless sloppy fuck up, then yes, go to a therapist, okay? All you need to do is be humbled. That's all you need to be when you're sloppy fuck up, okay? You gotta shut the fuck up. When it is actually a fully realized human being, a successful result of development, there's actually a line there. There's true rational considerations that carry through and are very difficult to necessarily resolve, especially when you have a community that allows the worthless fuck-ups to just put their foot down, like, no, we're not going to talk about that anymore. That's okay. That's just a stupid fucking community. It's a community that has no fucking memory. A community which can never learn, which can never advance. You chose to encourage the weakness of your fuck up children and your fuck up adults. I mean, the fucking boomers are fucking weak. Truly, boomers are the worst examples of seniority, providing absolutely nothing redeeming character-wise. Almost every single one of them, and this is why I don't have a choice. I'm in a sick surrounding. I don't have any fucking choice. I have got to, if I'm going to stay near resources, and if I'm going to have any chance of connecting the lower classes with actual money, I can't go hang out with the lower classes, guys. If your community needs money, you're not the one who should be trying to pull me in. Okay? This whole process depends on me being a part of something much so buoyantly productive and rationalizing and reasoning why it is it has its own interest in investing through me into you. Through management of an investment, we then change the entire narrative. You are not doing charity anymore. You are doing industry. Why is it industry? The thing is, when we begin integrating the interest of the community to the project, the plan, their engagement will be different. Obviously, they will have a completely different understanding. They will have a sort of ownership, not actual material ownership. But this magnificent organization will humbly work to empower and free everybody. Everybody. That is so cool, I think. And communities don't understand that. People don't live lives right now that have any conception of what my life is like. I'm talking to one of my old business partners and trying to communicate and translate between our life journeys. And he's still in the old community somewhat. They try to pretend like they don't talk to each other, but it's all still connected. It's all still connected. And it's the modern era. Anytime that people want to talk, they can. It's not like it used to be. But that's one of the reasons why, in a situation, if there is some malignant, resentment brewing, the point is, the test is essentially how easy is it to get you self-destructive. It's terrifyingly easy. People over vain fucking emotional positions will just become super destructive. A lot of it comes from expecting other people to pay back our actions without really clarifying anything about that. In promotions, there's a lot of standard attention sharing. It's just fluffing. It's just circle jerking. It's not a healthy behavior, guys. It's not. It might feel good for a minute, but there's always an outside eye watching. And eventually somebody comes in and calls it what it is. And that's an awkward fucking conversation because you're not supposed to be doing that with a bunch of dudes. And they're just not ready to have that. I mean, they can fucking, I don't, who cares? You know what I mean? If you actually enjoy that, cool. But why would you make a public format out of it? It's a hope to grow, but you have such a small cap when you're trying to engage people at that level, is what I believe anyways. And as AI content really starts to step in other things, the competition for content creators is just going to get extreme. I'm not happy about that, guys. And I am a content creator, quote unquote, now, but I'm not ever expecting my audience of like folk audience to pay my bills. I will handle my bills. I can't ask for money from those who are struggling. And stay proud. And I'm, as you can tell, I'm fucking proud. So fucking proud. Mixing in the rest of the deck now. So, getting back to complete disconnection. Individual existence. There are people in my life who I care about in a big way. We are just in a moment of such incredible transition. I'm pushing myself and everybody around me to a higher level, I'm already out of sight of those around me is how I feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the one just wasting my time running in circles, but I actually think I'm completely out of sight, and I think that it translates to many things in life, as well as perspectives and vigor, vitality, daily stress. When you don't feel change in your life, you do get tired, and that tiredness, that malaise, wears on everybody. When our plans don't make any sense, it's terrible. And when our plans don't need to be plans, even when it's like graduate high school and then get a job in a factory, which is what it was for these boomers, they didn't have to think. We don't just have to think. We've got to dodge all their traps. They've been victimizing the young people for their entire lives, lying to us and stealing our entire future from us. The last my adult life has been shit because of their failures, because they refuse to even have the most basic, barest common sense, or give the barest shit about the people around them. Um, all these churches are just churches to Satan. Truly, they're just churches to evil. There's no decent church at this point. There's no way there couldn't be a decent church. I mean, the satanic church is far better of a citizen than any other church. It at least pays its taxes, not pretending to be above social civic responsibility. This is why they're so fucking worthless. They fucking think that they deserve to exist. They're just parasites. Churches, just fucking parasites, lying to the fucking dumb and vassal. Too weak to sit out and fucking make a meaning of their own out of blades of grass, which is what most of humanity had to do. If you gotta go get told what to do, you're not really going there for that reason, are you? So you can get one of their plastic, trashy women to marry your stupid fucking suburban boy. You can fucking make babies. They can be very stressed out. The whole family can be medicated. Really, it's so easy. Just medicate the whole family. Then, alcoholism, the litany of personal issues, they each adopt in turn, trying to get attention from each other, trying to justify their existence, when all they are is a caged animal, feebly pawing at the world for attention. Feebly. It's a strange arrangement, in my opinion. So I've got to set up the Restream bot as a moderator, I think, is what it said in my chat. Which I will get done later. Anyways, point is, this is the whole benefit of a lean perspective and of a blasted out past, hollowed out past. I don't have habitual relationships with stupid assholes. Well, many. And even with my family, I've recently been trying to interact with my mom, and it's pretty frustrating, like I'm talking about unemployment and stuff, and oh, did you remember this? And it's like, Mom, I have a complete strategic framework for literally everything. I absolutely have that consideration mapped, and the reasons. So I try to give her an explanation of things which might change in the future, and there's many things which might change in my future. One of them is I'm hoping to receive an award. If I receive an award, and she's like, don't bet on it. It's like, listen, and I could go into telling her how to use fuzzy logic, and I can try to explain to her that I have a very advanced probability-driven matrix that includes several other options, which are why I'm calling the shots as I'm calling them. I mean, I'm about to start spending $800 a month on health insurance. I'm just keeping health insurance, is what I think. Where I'm at right now. I'm really worried that things can just fall apart, and the money isn't worth as much, and I don't want to be, impoverished and freaking buried in medical debt all of a sudden. Although I don't even know what serious treatments from them I would get. I don't know if I would get any cancer treatments. Just really hopeful I don't get cancer before we have it solved, because I really believe that we are misunderstanding the nature of cancer. I don't think that poisoning people is intelligent. I wonder about the ideas that, like, you know, if I fasted for 4 days and ran on ketosis, is that going to have a major effect on a cancerous tumor? I've heard that they require blood sugar because they are such an overactive cell. So can fasting really combat cancer? And it stands to reason. Absolutely stands to reason. Not having a constant influx of nutrients for it. Anyways, doesn't mean that's the case. I could still, of course, get sick. But the point is, my choice is going to be made based on a huge array, which starts with the entire definition of my life. It starts with my body, it starts with my resume, my work potential, it starts with my savings, it starts with my stocks, it starts with my 401k, it starts with everything in the whole spectrum put into a place, combined, to result in a yes by the insurance or no by the insurance. And my dad thinks I shouldn't bother with the insurance. My dad hates insurance. $700, $800 a month. That's a lot of party. But if it's just going to sit in the bank anyways, if I'm just saving money to try to once again be the only lucky one who actually has retirement savings, do you think I want to be that motherfucker? You think I want to actually, like, this is a hard fucking road, you guys. Having a soul, but still having resources and not wanting to, like, live in squalor among assholes, right? But still, yeah, trying to be engaged and support an evolution of the system, you know. They don't let you pick a middle road of it. You can't be all the things unless you want to deal with isolation. After this many years, I honestly prefer the isolation. I really don't feel all that lonely, because everybody who fell victim to that fear of being phobal, F-O-B-L, FOMO and phobal, fear of being alone, phoba. FOMO and phoba. Point is, fear of being alone is lame. These people are always alone, aren't they? They never know each other. They're always terrified of offending their interconnected dependencies of their shithole fucking loved ones. There's no love there, you guys. There's no love in the shithole. Not like there's love in the free-flowing freedom. Let me say it. Freedom. The freedom of not being afraid for tomorrow. Of actually feeling an existential security, okay? There's no replacement for finding that. And a lot of young people don't have that. A lot of retired people tell themselves they have that when they should be telling themselves that they have that. They don't have enough money. And I can go between either side and I can tell them that I think there's problems. None of them are looking to tomorrow. None of them can. They just can't. They don't have the ability. And because they don't have the ability, we end up giving these kids such poor options. So that is unacceptable to me as a premise. We can run through this logic as many times as anyone needs it, why it is I'm not stopping. I'm never going to stop. Nobody has to come along. The crusade is to reach the promised land, and we do that, and we set up shop, and then we spread the word. And we are empowered to do that with this technology, and people should be helping, and the righteous people are helping. They're already involved. Anyways, let's see what the tarot says. Maybe it'll drive me back towards what I'm hoping to move on from. Maybe it will tell me to rush ahead. We'll take it upright. just because I shouldn't have flipped it like that. Anyways, the sun started off. That's a good one. Empress reversed is in the way. Highest that I can arrive at, four. Oh man, still 4 cups. 2 of swords reversed is what I have to work with. Death is in the past. Okay, that's good. Oh, the tower. Death into the tower. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. All right. 6 of Pentacles. The Hierophant. 9 of Wands. Knight of Wands. There's have you seen Old Guard? Charlize Theron's ally from the past was they were born infinitely, and she was locked in a casket and thrown overboard, so she would drown and wake up and drown for like ever. What a definition of hell. That's not where I'm trying to go. I don't like death into the tower. That's lame. Material happiness, fortunate marriage, contentment is the sun. And even if it was reversed, the same in a lesser sense. Yeah, so searching for contentment. The opposition is light, truth. The unraveling of involved matters. Public rejoice. Also, when they're reading vacillation. So the going between, and here's the point. In order to maximize forward progress, you should, as the government does, seek multiple bids. This is just strategic networking and growth. Vacillation, the truth of my vacillation actually stands in my way. And I've understood that. And the vacillation during this limbo thing has been okay because nobody has had any idea what we should do. But now we've got to get moving, I think, and I've got to choose a way forward. And vacillation of teasing like I'm gonna go back to anything. Like I said, the real positions, the real parts of my character, there are moments where I might feel weak because I'm human. But the key aspects that caused me to make the choices that I did, 14 years ago, when I separated myself from my home community, those same truths are physical truths, physical systemic truths they're still all in effect. Everything that I was concerned about has gotten worse. So the highest that I can arrive at is the 4 of Cups. Weariness, disgust, aversion, imaginary vexations. If the wine of this world had caused satiety only, another cup of wine, so a fair gift is now offered it, but he sees no consolation therein. This is also a card of blended pleasure. But the point is, very visually in the 4 of Cups, you can see he's not taking it. So I'm not vacillating from a dissatisfaction with the state of the world, with how we're leaving our country and our neighbors. And if you're going to call yourself a proud American or faithful, if you want to use the word God without deserving to be slapped in the face, we got to do better. 2 of Swords reversed. Imposture, falsehood, duplicity, disloyalty. What I have to work with is this disloyalty, which is what I advertise. And those who try to bring me into a single network, is from their perspective, they see it as disloyalty. They see it as imposture. They imagine that I did something tricky because I understand what they're doing. But I actually told them many things that told them not to do what they chose to do. Things also which the golden rule is in full effect all the time. All the time. And you can't have a secret understanding with your friends and not have it come out in your speech, in your actions. You demonstrate your position. And there's especially when you go from a very warm, loving situation to a standoffish, what are you doing for me recently sort of situation. And when you do that with somebody who walks in contributing and tries to contribute every step of the fucking way, once you start saying, what are you doing to contribute, when it's like, you just received, so why are you asking me what I do to contribute? Oh, it's not enough. No, no. You do not back your little ass into this fucking arrangement that way. That doesn't happen at all, okay? You don't deserve shit because you wanted it to happen, because you have a business delusion about what you're fucking doing. If you have never been anywhere near earning enough to cover your bills, don't pretend like you're working. Like giving you money is doing anything but convincing you to go down a losing road. It's a better gift not to support you. You're not supposed to sell that shit. I don't think you understand how cheap it is. And you surely don't understand what happens once it's sold. You don't sell it. I won't buy it. I give money, but I'm not buying that. They try and give it to me, but I never cash it out, do I? I'm just giving money, guys. I'm sacrificing. That's my faith. And you people who I support, I care about you. So it breaks my heart when what I've been saying to you is just ignored. Over and over and over and over and over again. So pulling away, I have no choice but to pull away. Disloyalty, I'm going to go hang out with rich kids and maybe make a change, I guess, if I don't have welcoming company elsewhere. You know, it's there. That community is desperate for anybody young. Okay, guys? And if I do go in there, they're not going to want to let me talk to you. Okay? That's how it works. If that's the only connection that I have, very shortly, I will just disappear from sight. So, death and mortality, corruption, the tower, misery, distress, ruin, the new circumstances, disgrace, deception. But the tower burns down, and that could be the apocalypse, the tower coming down. The tower, I've used it in morning mythology, my poem that I've spread around. The tower is a very real thing, and it's the Apollonian tower, as I see it, and the establishment is coming down. That's why I have to stay separate. It's why the only actual route to a material stability involves me sticking with telling you to stick it. Involves me constantly existing and talking to people and hoping that we can become responsible. But nobody cares about that. They just make assumptions. They think that I just want company. Guys, it's easy for me to find and make company. There's company for sale at every fucking corner. And it doesn't cost as much as I spend on food. The idea that you're going to sell it to make a living is just fucking mind-boggling. Why do you think that's going to work? I can't sit around with you and pretend it's going to work. I shouldn't, should I? Right? There's young kids who look up to you. That's the goal. Are you going to be doing something fucking inane like these boomers are, pretending like you can just do whatever the fuck you want while the world burns? Is that what you're going to do? Not my friends. Not the people I want to support. It's malignant to be a stupid fucking asshole during the fucking apocalypse. And I'm not going to accept it anymore. I said to my home community 14 fucking years ago. They're still trying to sort their shit out. But they never had a fucking chance. That's why I was willing to risk it all. They never had a fucking chance. Together, we didn't have a fucking chance. I would just be in the hole with the crabs. Not fun. Six of Pentacles is what I am. Reversed. Desire, cupidity, envy, jealousy, illusion. And yes, the desire is an illusion. I can project a lifestyle for them. The idea that when I'm gone, all their human relationships are wonderful. Answer the question honestly. Married people, how much time a day do you spend touching each other? Is that as much as I use a massager? Is it my body care, whether it's a person poking me or a massager? Is my body really all that concerned about it being a person? Can a person as vigorously put a specific frequency right into my abdomen, which massages my organs and helps me digest food, gets all the food through me? A person can't even do that. I can sit here and pretend like people who when I was in my early 20s and even in my 30s, people around me do the Cosmo things. And they always want you to fucking compromise and get on your fucking knees and demonstrate subservience or some shit, which I just am not good at, okay, guys? And I'm so glad I'm not good at it, because there have been lots of options for stupid, shitty people. Stupid, shitty fucking people who want to pretend like they were whatever. There are stupid, shitty people. They get into a relationship and they fuck up each other's lives until they're so fucking lame, they're fucking going on cruises. They're fucking going, they're doing these things, and then they're dumb enough to take pictures and show us how lame their fucking escape is. Escaping what? Every day. Escaping every day? You can't escape every day. Can you even escape a 40-hour work week? Can you get down to a 10-hour work week? Because that's where it's at, you guys. 10-hour work week. That's the shit. In all these spaces, the idea of being in a human village is a daydream. They're actually not connected. They actually have constant loss that puts constant burden on the souls of every member of the community. Until you break free, until you're not sitting there empathizing with failures, you are gonna carry that burden happily. Happily. I envy it in some ways. I envy some aspects of it, but if the future is utter chaos, which I do, I have every intention of preventing that from happening. I want to help you. Future's meant to be stable and controlled. And I do this to create a foundation, to realize control and stabilize the future. But the people around me are not smart enough to understand the sacrifice or why the sacrifice. But those who craft the system see the gigantic waves that I send through the pool. Waves of change, real change. Not giving people money, giving them inspiration, giving them something to be challenged with, giving them something to hate even. A lot of times I'm giving people something to hate. But if that's what it takes to drive them, if they are just little hate mongers, that's what it is. It's why I don't mind the cycle that I go through. This is not a guaranteed thing. All I'm doing is getting it started, and you choose which you serve. There's only one acceptable response. It's the positive one. The one where you're not adding to the problem because you don't deserve to be a part of the problem. I do. This is how we separate the chaff, fucking cream from the whatever the fuck the rest of that shit is. Marriage alliance, captivity, servitude, mercy and goodness, inspiration, the man to whom the Coran has recourse. In every setting, I build brick by brick. The only way I can maintain several connections is I talk to an individual, and that individual is my connection to a setting, and I've got a lot of those now. Got half a dozen. I don't know who it is, but the point is, marriage alliance is where I'm heading. Building it into my family is what I want to do. And I'm not here to be Mr. Perfect, Prince Charming. I'm not here to impress you in any way that the norm, the plastic fake norm, impresses you. You can keep all that shit. Nine of Wands. Card signifies strength in opposition. If attacked, he will meet the onslaught boldly. With this main significance, there are all possible adjuncts, including delays, suspension, adjournment. Yeah, it takes time. It's not the first time the Nine of Wands show up. It was a day or two ago with 3 nines. I think it was just a day ago. And this was in there, and it was the upright answer. But it's just a matter of my chosen virtue of strength and staying ready to meet the onslaught boldly of the apocalypse. Even if I go through my little mini transition as I pull away, and as I pull away in stressful times in my life, yes, I'm bouncing around a little bit. The vacillation. I'm sorry, guys. I do announce my overall mission over and over again, and my human desires, my jealousy, it has me for a minute reaching for things that I want them to be something, but if they are that something, they will behave in a certain way, and the situation won't self-destruct. The proof is in the pudding. It always is. But this is life. If you want to be a lion and have your own savannah, and that's not even necessarily what I want, it's just what I was raised to be. So the point is, for a community, I can be a unique presence in their community at this point. Something on the sidelines that absolutely encourages everyone to behave, and not in a terror sort of way, in a knowledge and an awareness and a compassionate understanding that yes, you can do wrong, you're not going to get away with it, someone's going to talk to you and give you space and keep an eye on you. The system is going to control, it's going to manage your human nature because it needs to be managed, because you are not controlling yourself. So I've got to pull the fuck away. Knight of Wands. Departure, absence, flight, emigration. A dark young man, friendly, change of residence. Well, after I just did all this yard work, are you serious? Yeah, and I haven't put stuff on TikTok either. I'm not using much TikTok. Anyways. Let's do this. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to be able to actually lift up off my elbows. But the ability to float, this is new for me. Every day I try to do it. And yesterday I did so much yard work. Oh my, yeah, okay, going in, you can see it. Deep squats. There's a guy on Kick I was doing it in front of the camera, and I guess my junk was in the shot. Exercise matters, guys. Said it many times. Anyways, nothing I have to stream, and I'm gonna keep setting things up, and because I want to put in passwords, I don't want to have a stream actively recording me while I'm putting all this stuff in. So change of residence sounds good. I'm going to, geez, I would like to live a different life. But that doesn't mean that I don't have the discipline to make sure that before I leap into a life, I have assurances that it is what I expect it to be. That reasonably it will lead me to a better outcome than where we're at. This is not okay. What we've done to young people, done to many people. I've already experienced 40 years of life, and it's been incredible, both in its heights and its despair. All of it is part of the experience, and we witness the delta, the difference between. And there's something enlivening about that witnessing, that engagement, that forces us to humble ourselves and move along. Last thing I'm gonna, oh wait, and I do want to read something, but what I'm gonna do here is, can I, oh, last thing I'm, oops, participants, where's the restream bot? Ah, man, there should be a restream bot in there. I don't see it in YouTube. Oh, I got a smite drop. I don't know why I bother with this shit. I got like 800 skins in the game. I just buy skins when I want them. And most gods, I have several gods that I like. I usually have several skins that I can rotate between now. Anyways, there's my 1,000 view points. Hiccup. What is that? It's probably from the super delicious food I've been eating. Since I'm leaving in 3 days on Wednesday, I don't want to buy anything for my fridge. Just wearing down all that. And yeah, interesting recipe stuff, guys. It's good being able to cook. I love it. I'm mixing rice in. Yesterday I made in a pan I put in butter and coconut oil, corn and peas, and got that going at like a nice little thing. And it was a good bit of, it was like half a stick of butter and just about as much coconut oil. So lots of oil, which is good for food. And oil, the microorganisms love it, is what I understand. And that's really, digestion is about getting that digestion live happening in your gut. You want that live living motion, which will make you flatulent. If you eat a lot of preservatives, you won't have as much gas. Have gas, you guys. Gas is telling you a lot. Gas is definitely the result of metabolism. There's no way you're gonna be as healthy without having. Oh, by the way, Jason Mewes. Oh my gosh. I've got a copycat. Restream bot. Restream bot. Repeat myself. Mod restream bot. Boom. Okay, you are now modded in Twitch. So if I go here, working on cooldown. Hey. It didn't even okay. Great. Okay, there it shows up on the chat from YouTube. Awesome. And from what up? Home Skillet. I can't wait till this is Chat GPT, and instead of me typing to myself, there is the semblance of a human conversation. So much more detail than most actual human conversations, probably. It'll be good times. Bam! Well, that one showed up quicker. And are we going to see it? There you go. Yes! Okay. Sounds good. And now that that's there, I can potentially just get rid of this. Go back to something like this. Bing. Whatever, it's here. So life's good, everybody, isn't it? Geez, life's good. And, be good wherever you're at, because you're not going to escape your karma. And maybe I'm not escaping my karma. Maybe I deserve to be living in a frustration in this way. I don't know, but when I tell myself I don't deserve it, I stress out. When I admit that probably I wouldn't be facing it if I didn't in some way deserve it, it's a lot less stress on my body. That is, I think, the smart approach. Okay. Anyways, we'll do a reading, and this was spot on. Nietzsche was last time. We'll do this again, because we are in the revaluation. Singularity, the tech singularity forces the revaluation. You can bet on that, because the new value is going to be what the AI understands the yes or no is. The result of those probabilistic gigantic equations is going to set a new value system, and the what's going to make the value is strength, effectiveness, efficiency, power, precision. These things, not feelings, not depression, not feckless excuses from fucking adults who should have their fucking emotions under control a long time before they turn fucking 18. I didn't have a fucking choice. I couldn't have possibly been so fucking weak when I was 12. Doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all. I celebrate the idea of a well-lived life, and I'll fight everybody for that. Everybody. I'm not going to change so that you feel better. Anyways, we're going to check these dice out. Maybe Nietzsche's going to tell me I should change. Chances are he's just going to be an elitist shit, as he always is, isn't it? That is what he do. 5. Okay, if it comes in low enough. 7. 57. That's too much. We will re-roll. 7, too much. 1. This is it. 0. 9. 4. 9 paragraphs. Although, wait, I wasn't doing the paragraphs for this because it was a pretty solid bit anyways, and 9 paragraphs is probably a ton. We'll read one passage here. And I think we'll find at that point that it's good. I should never have rolled for paragraphs. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is like 5, 6, 7, 8. Each one is only set up as a paragraph. So I'd be reading for like 6 pages, which it's just too much. I want us to stay in a concise point. So 109 is the way I do it at the first full paragraph. So I'm actually starting halfway down the book here, halfway down the page. This is from Beyond Good and Evil, again, which revolutionary work, challenging the revaluation of challenging what is the definition of good and evil. Is it really evil to give a constructive challenge to kids, even if they don't like it? No, it's not, especially when they need it. And you're the best one at doing it, and you can enter and exit in such a clean manner. Jeez. It's like magic. It's truly like magic. It sometimes happens, said a moralistic pedant and a trifle retailer, that I honor and respect an unselfish man. Not, however, because he is unselfish, but because I think he has a right to be useful to another man at his own expense. Exactly what I'm fucking talking about. It sometimes happens, said a moralist pedant and trifle retailer. So, trifle retailer, a conflict seller, and a moralist pedant. What is a pedant? Pedantic is to say like inane and stupid. I've never seen a pedant. A person who is excessively concerned with minor details and rules or with displaying academic learning. So, as I called it, a social etiquette of trying to make each other feel good when it's just a pile of failure. You can't run from that. You've got to some point stop and start calling everybody a failure, and they got to start actually trying to do something. Excuses, if your socialization is mostly spreading excuses, we're not going to get along. But this is very much, as I said, I don't like those people. He calling them a moralistic pedant and a trifle retailer. Yeah, okay, so in short, the question is always who he is and who the other is. For instance, in a person created and destined for command, self-denial, and modest retirement, instead of being virtues, would be the waste of virtues. In a person created and destined for command, self-denial, and modest retirement, denying myself the right to pursue a life of whatever sort. Everybody else is doing whatever the fuck they want. You know, like this is something that not many people actually challenge me about the moral position that I hold. I am faithful and I'm a decent human being, so I challenge myself. But as he goes here, and this is the problem with it, self-denial and modest retirement, instead of being virtues, would be the waste of virtues. So it seems to me. Being amazing when you're surrounded by people who just resent it is a waste. It's throwing your pearls to swine. And it's not that lower class are fucking swine, okay? It is just how the ones that I run into are stuck. They are not able to receive it. They are not able to protect it. They are not able to honor it. Every system of unegoistic morality which takes itself unconditionally and appeals to everyone not only sins against good taste, but is also an incentive to sins of omission, an additional seduction under the mask of philanthropy. Every system of unegoistic morality which takes itself unconditionally, and that is a system of thoughts, meaning you can't transcend it. I have an algorithm, but I follow my heart. That's why I can talk to kids as well as I do. to try to establish a morality that makes space for the slave perspective, as Nietzsche calls it, is an utter mistake. You perpetuate the slave mentality, and there's the alternative, the noble mentality, the mentality of the Stoics and of the people that we want to be like if we have character ourselves. And this is in the judgment and judgment day. Is God going to expect us to be that sort of character? I think so. I think that sort of character leads to a growth and development, whereas other characters are just consumptive. And just as I think we appreciate a songbird more than a mosquito, the system will emphasize the songbird more than the mosquito, especially when that mosquito is actually a human being trying to pretend to be a lion. Fuckers. Fucking losers. Fucking cows. Fucking acting like you're strong and shit. Jesus fucking Christ, when you're already fucking sold out. It's just staggering. An incentive to sins of omission, the politeness of not calling it out, an additional seduction under the mask of philanthropy. Like, to sit there and help you and not call it out and play along with the loser games is the sin of omission, and precisely a seduction. And that's what it's been saying, is the seduction. And you know, and in doing that, we all think about it in terms of like a sexual seduction. No, there's a moral seduction in the idea of not speaking your judgment. Isn't there? But I can't walk in speaking my judgment, and nobody wants my judgment, and I share my judgment. People just, as long as it's not affecting what they're doing, they just say, okay, haha, that's cute, and they push it away. They don't see how it translates to their behaviors, their lives at all. Once it does, and it's while it is semi-rigid, I'm looking for any feedback to make me change it. People don't even understand what's going on. They don't understand their own socialization, even though they're trying to accomplish a social maneuver. They don't even, they can't have a conversation where they admit to the things that they have already established in their community that they think are just normal. And it is just normal. It's so normal, I can predict it. It's so normal. We need better means of understanding the quality of the person we're talking to. We need more advanced possibilities in how we integrate and connect with potential resources. We need to become viral. We need to spread good vibes and a culture which actually inspires towards something worthwhile. None of this plastic, worthless shit like these loser fucking celebrities we have. What fucking trash. Name one. It's not an absolute pile of shit. Couldn't be doing fucking anything. The fucking go, they're formulaic, pick a cause and just go keep busy with it. Fucking boomer shit. A fucking rock star takes on the whole fucking problem. Every fucking bit of it. Every fucking punk rocker, all the fucking time, has always motherfucking done it. Every fucking folk artist takes on the bull by the horns. Not fucking give it a fucking hand job and act like you're doing something. And precisely a seduction and injury to the higher, rarer, and more privileged types of men. Moral systems must be compelled first of all to bow before the gradations of rank. Their presumption must be driven home to their conscience until they thoroughly understand at last that it is unmoral to say that what is right for one is proper for another. If you're lazy, if you're so fucking lazy you couldn't develop a brain, you have different rules, bitch. And that's to say, if you didn't become an engineer. Someone told you you could be a psychologist and get respect. Not here. Not in the future either, I bet. And the revaluation, the bullshit of your fucking practice is going to be absolutely crystal clear. I look forward to it. I look forward to the complete judgment. I look forward to the idea that the car wash I got today is a sin. I will accept judgment so long as it's applied to everyone. And that doesn't mean it's one level. What that means is once you go into a high level differential equation, every scale is sliding. Every scale. And if you think relativistic, then you're slave mentality. If you think objective, then you can be my friend. But you won't have allies in caves. You won't get along with the politics of crabs unless you keep your mouth shut. But open your fucking mouth. Say hello. I don't want it to be this way, you guys. Why you got to work with me, okay? But playing along and just pretending like you're doing something productive or you're not just wasting fucking time. I'm not doing that because it is a injury to my character and my story. So said my moralistic pedant and Bonhomme. Did he perhaps deserve to be laughed at when he thus exhorted systems of morals to practice morality? But one should not be too much in the right if one wishes to have the laughers on one's own side. A grain of wrong pertains even to good taste. I apply ranked, and I expect ranked. I expect ranked. and the way that I expect rank is, as I said, how do you support? And major ways a person supports financially, but also morally and emotionally. Morally is that objective justice being held and maintained in a space where everybody gets their just desserts. I will say to some, you have contributed this much in general. You are this much. You are disruptive in this way. When I give up on somebody, they're pretty toxic. And it's all an idea of refining and pushing the entire system towards a different result because we are just anthropomorphically fucking everything up. And that's a shame, you guys. Not afraid to say it. I said in 2009, you want to be a proud member of my community, you got to be on this tilt. People who aren't on this tilt aren't going to come along. I'm not going to come along with them because I'm not going to pretend like there's an equality, because there's not. Not even equality in basic situation, not equality lived experience, not an equality in the past, not an equality in the motherfucking future. There's no equality. Equality would just be a lie, a kindness that convinces them they shouldn't be doing something. And they should be doing a lot. They should be doing more than me. They just don't know how to do jack shit. But that's okay. I don't mind being the man. It's always been needed. And it can be a woman. It can be anybody willing to tell everyone to stick their head up their ass when they're being slovenly. It's okay. We all fuck up sometimes, you guys. And we just got to accomplish this change right now. So don't take it personally. Help this action out. Okay? Help this fucking action out. Anyways, God bless you guys. And thank you very much. I appreciate your patience. And thank you, YouTube and Twitch, for this cost-free broadcasting that I get. Thank you, Verizon, for the $1,500 in hardware I just got for free. And yeah, thanks to the universe for like just even existing right now. Holy cow. A few more days. Find my center, get up to the lake, enjoy myself. You guys enjoy yourself too. And if that's a struggle, listen to what I'm saying. Let's cut out your overhead. Let's give you more time every day. Because it takes a lot of time to sort yourself. Coming from a guy who's had 95% of his time is free time for the last decade. It's been freedom, getting away from American communities. Just freedom. I don't need much, just a couple cool people. All right. I will see you guys hanging around.